Okay, so we've got our drums loaded in. Now we're going to look at creating the actual rhythms. The first thing I'm going to do is in the impulse just do standard sort of 4 on the floor kick. We'll turn that down. And we will just do a bit of editing on the snare just to get it a bit techier sounding. So we'll solo it here and add a high pass filter, turn the resonance down and turn the saturation up just to give it a bit of crunch. You can also put the decay down just to make it a bit tighter. And we can turn the volume of our hats down. Okay, so just a basic beat, and this is just a sort of foundation for the tribal stuff that we're going to be adding on top. So we'll go into our drum rack and we'll load a clip in, an empty clip, and we'll look for our sort of lower end stuff. Turn our headphone monitor on and we can hear the drums down the side. And what we can start doing now is just adding some notes in. And the lower end stuff that we're going to be putting in, it's almost akin to like a bass line. And you'll notice in a lot of the sort of minimal or techno stuff that there's a deep sound there, but it's not necessarily a bass line. And a lot of the time, after sort of research I've been doing, I found out that it is more sort of drums and sort of these deep end hits that are giving it that sort of deep bass sound as opposed to an actual synth or something like that. And it could be combined with a synth as well. But in this instance, we're just going to purely be using percussion in the drum sounds. So we can play our loop and just add some notes in. When you load a sample into the drum rack, it doesn't do it in the same way it does in Impulse. In Impulse, when you load a sound in and play it, it'll play right through to the end of the sound. In drum rack, it depends on how long the note's held. So if I have a long note and a short note, you'll be able to hear the difference here between the two notes. So this is cool for, you know, adding a bit more interest in these bottom end sounds, because we can control how long they last and add a bit more sort of flavor to the rhythm. If you don't want to extend the notes, you can actually go into the individual drum rack, click on the individual sample and use the release time to alter the length of the notes as well. So there's two ways you can vary, and you may switch between both methods. So we've got a basic sort of groove, and this is what we'll use for the basis of adding the other stuff. I sometimes find it's really good to just sort of duplicate the bottom end rhythm with another sound, and then slightly offset them. And what you get then is a sort of, it's as if someone's hitting the drum with two sticks, or there's two people hitting the drum at the same time, and it just sort of adds to the depth of the sound. Okay, so that's our sort of main rhythm, and we don't want it any more complicated than that, than sort of just one sort of hit every couple of bar or every couple of beats. So that's fine where we are. And what we can start doing now is accenting that with some of the other sounds. So I'm going to turn my quantize back on and just put some notes in sort of syncopated rhythms with the sort of the bass notes that we've got. And again, with these ones, we can double up on them, turn our quantize off, and then start shifting them about. And again, just to give that sort of feeling of being hit by sort of two sticks, or they're being hit by more than one person. So just again to add a bit of interest and a bit of flavor. And we can also extend those notes, create a longer sound. And then as we go up, we can get sort of more intricate. Turn our quantize back on again. And we don't have to use every single one of the sounds in each rhythm, but it's good to have them all there, and you can try different ones. So a couple of really sort of high-end clicky things could be handy. And what I'll do with these, I'll just put this on every note. Okay, so that's sort of basically our rhythm. And the last thing we're going to do is use some grooves to just make it, again, more interesting, add a bit of flavor and a bit of swing. And I'm going to go into the swing folder, and I'll just grab this, use maybe sort of a 45, and we'll put it on both the impulse and the drum rack. And we can also go into the drum rack and add a shaker in. Again, there's a bit of sort of sense of motion to the sound. Okay, sorry, we added an 8 swing there when we wanted to be adding the 16, so it sounded a bit off. So we can grab the 16 and throw it on. If you think that sounds too sort of swingy, you can go down and okay, so that's our basic rhythm in, and in the next video we're going to be looking at adding effects.